Hello everybody, let me show you something before the dog goes nuts. We have a new hefflump. He's not quite the same as the old hefflump, but he will do apparently. He is the new favourite. Slump found out what the hell she did with the last one. It's a bit smaller, it's not got quite as many squeakers in it, and Heffy's head hasn't quite got the same padding, so it's definitely not like the old one. But it looks like it from a distance, but it's a bit smaller. But it's got the same crinkly paper in it that there's a plastic thing that crackles as she moves it. She loves that. It's got, well, it had a squeaker in it. I don't know if it's still got a squeaker in it. She might have already killed it, because, you know, that's kind of a thing. What are you doing with Heffy's, hey? Where is he? Is he alright? Yes. You show me Heffy. No, you killed the squeaker. Hold on. Killed his only squeaker. You did! You did! You killed his squeaker. But it's got crinkly ears, which she really likes. So, don't understand why dogs seem to love toys that squeak, but the first thing they do is kill the squeaker and then seem really sad. It's just a dog thing, I guess. Anyway, we have more bobbins to wind. About, well, 2/3 of them, to be honest. And I realise that this is possibly one of the most boring things you will ever watch. And I got the yawns before we even start. That's a good sign, isn't it? So I have made sure my stick is in the right place. In fact, I will measure it again for good measure, because the dog bashed it and moved it. So let me check. Yep, that's close enough. So, I need to adjust my table. I refilled my drink, so we are good to go. Half. One and a half. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. Yes. That's all you do, dog. It is. You're a gobby little cow. Yes, you are. I know. Yes, you are. Why don't you just say thank you for Heffy and be happy? You have new Heffies. Yes, you do. Mummy got you new Heffy. Yes. That's right, you knock the bobbin off. That'll help. Yes, that really helps. There. You got new Heffies. I did. I got you a new Heffy so you would be happy. You happy now? You happy? You happy, Grunts? Is that happy, Grunts? I've got one bobbin done and already dog distractionary tactics. No? You have Heffy hair. You do. You like Heffy. You do, and I don't know what you did with the last one. I really, really don't. I really, really don't know what you did with him. But one day we'll find him. Hey, Netkisser, how you doing? So you've got a new Heffy now. You do. I know he's not the same, but he is nice. Hope we're going to get a few more bobbins per dog interrupters. 1.5. 1. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. So how have you been, Netkisser? Ooh. Thank you for belching in my ear, Amy. I take it it's a real bunny? Just to be sure, you know. Clarify matters and all that. Because, you know, over the internet we can never be entirely sure. Now, I need my pins. I'm not quite sure what happened to today. Today was my last day off work. Ah, that makes plenty sense. Yeah, that's why lots of people get guinea pigs for their rabbits. So that they have friends. So they don't get lonely. It's always sad when you lose one. And I don't think enough people give consideration to the remaining animals. I've seen very much when a friend's cat died, even though it was kind of the most antisocial, grumpy arsehole cat you ever met. I mean, it was a cat, what did you expect? But all of the dogs really missed it, because I had to take it to be put down because she was too busy. And I came back with the cat wrapped up in a towel. And all the dogs wanted to see it. Ah, okay. That's weird. It's weird that it's so popular over here, but maybe they don't have the disease. But each of the dogs were kind of puzzled because they knew I'd gone out with the cat, so I showed them the deceased cat. And they all kind of almost came along, bowed their head, said sorry to the cat, and walked off. Anyway, she came back later that day, and we had to bury said cat in the garden, so digging a hole in her garden was near impossible because her garden's made of clay. We broke a serious sweat digging a hole for that. But as we were having a cup of tea, if her countertop was this shape, although the cat used to hop on, eat its food and hop off, we were standing, so she was nearest the cooker, I was nearest the door, and the dogs literally watched all three simultaneously like something was walking around the countertop. If you never didn't believe in life after death, this was your moment to believe. It surely was. Because there was almost no other viable explanation for it. Was that, it's not like she had other cats, or because, the other cats are long gone. But they watched like there was a cat walking around the countertop, like this cat had done when it was much younger. And And it was really weird to see 3 dogs intensely looking like they could see something. So yeah, it was kind of weird. But animals do miss other animals and people. I mean, there's a meme that goes round that says, if I die, please show my dog. And I would want that with all my heart, because I don't want them to think I abandoned them. And it's true, I don't. I very much strongly believe that, you know, especially as these two came from a harder time, I would not want to think they were abandoned. I would want them to know that I died. So with any luck, you know, should they be around at the time, or whichever of my dogs will be around at the time, I hope they get to find out what happened to me. And I don't just get carted off to hospital and never return, you know. So, I was going to click on something then. Oh, I know what it was. Thank you for that, Rory. Heard that coming. But as we said yesterday, the prep work for a lot of crafting is the bit that takes the time. And it's also the invisible bit to people who don't do the skill. So it is good to show it, even though it is hereditary boring. Well, I'm glad to hear you might have found a bun friend for your bun. So. I seem to be such a reject when it comes to hooking threads around a pin. Is it wrong that I feel burnt out already? It's the only problem with evening streams. If you've done anything during the day, you can be absolutely dead on your feet by the evening. And it's not that I have done anything horrendously strenuous today, but obviously have recovering from the downs as I've had. I'm very easily burnt out at the moment. Oh, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Sorry, I'm very low on batteries at the moment. Three, 3.5, 4. Doesn't help I've got a headache, but there we go. Hello, Rory. Hello, I don't need a bath, thank you. Hello. Hello, little man. I've managed to do 2 more pairs of bobbins before I get Dogus interruptus. You don't need a new toy because you still have Gecko and you have Octopus. Yes. You aren't really into the octopus and the head flump. The crackly things didn't really work for you. You like Gecko. And he's fine, I've seen him. I moved him only the other day. He's around there somewhere. He is. I'm sure I saw him mere moments ago. Amy's got a Heffy. Yes, she has. There's Dino, an octopus. Gecko was around here somewhere. He's probably out in the hall. I was going to say, he's probably out in the hall. What's the matter? Hey, you need your ears rubbed. Okay. Use that finger because it's got no nail. Better for Rory. Rory's a good boy. He is. She's chomping on Heffies. I bet you know where the other one is. I do. I bet you know. Mind you, I bet she knows too. I do. Because you are not stupid doggies. No. You aren't. You do get impressions. I'm not going to deny you that. But she loves poking Effie and making him crackle. Oh. You're going to lie down and get in the way, aren't you? No, don't lick my jumper. You know, of all things in the entire universe, there are two things that mighty annoy me. One is you using my cool room carpet as a bathroom, and two, licking my jumper is right up there. Yes. Because that's just gross. The idea of licking a jumper, I mean, of all the things to want to lick. Mr. Paws, eh? I do love you, but you're kind of in the way. You are. Yes. You are. Little man. I have things I want to do. You've ignored me all day. Well, pretty much. I mean, we have had hugs, but you've had all day for as much hugs as you could get. Tomorrow, I need to do some work. Tomorrow, I want to do more of this. Oh, scritchy scritch. Now, this means you need to bugger off and do dog things. Does. Take a leaf from your sister's book. Go and do dog things. Because Amy's being a good girl. She's got her Heffy and she's doing dog things. You go and do dog things with Gecko. Yes. You go do dog things. Or even better, go find where she hid Heffy. No, that wasn't try and get even more on my lap. It's either that or you have your nails trimmed. It's just the quickest way to get rid of you, isn't it? Well, that's the closest he's ever let the chippers be to his paws. I'm currently stroking the chippers on his paws and he hasn't growled or bitten me. Because that's usually how it goes. If I hold his paw and do this. Yep, no paws. Yep, there he goes. Yep. Whatevs. Right. Go and do dog things, the pair of you. I didn't actually even touch his... Well, I did touch his claw with them, but briefly. Right. It's all in his head. Half. 1. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. The difference between when he actually kind of decided to make a run for it and when I was doing it was that I held his paw and touched the chippers to his claw. I didn't actually cut anything, obviously. So trying to get him used to the idea, because it doesn't hurt if you don't be a dick about it. But of course, the more they struggle, more likely they are to end up hurt, because unlike human beings who pull away when you're trying to do something, dogs tend to push their paws forward. So instead of missing their nail and not trimming it at all, like you would if it was a human being, you end up trimming their nail at the elbow, and then they wonder why it hurts. And you're like, well, it hurts because you moved. And he doesn't half need them doing, but he won't let us, so that's just the way it goes. Half. One. Whoops. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. So, gone outside now. Let's do dog things. Heffy's still indoors. Octopus is it? Oh no, there he is. Don't know what they did with the last one. I'll find it eventually. It will have been outside somewhere, in a bush or something. Missed. Can't believe it's October. That reminds me, I'm about to tell my colour. Hang on, let me tell him something. You just fell straight off, didn't you? Yeah, you did, you piece of shit, Bobbin. And so have you. And you're its friend. Excellent. I do love it when they do this. So, you... And I'm 5,000 degrees. And I know it's not that high. But it feels like it's like 500 degrees. Take my jumper off and get cold then. Because that's of course what happens when you're old. You're too hot, so you take your jumper off. So you're too cold, and you have to put your jumper back on. Yep, I'm going to be too cold without it. Stop licking the fuck out of me! Wretched animals. I have not basted myself in turkey grease or something. Can you just quit licking me? Hello, Amy. Again. Hello. Get off me. No, I said get off. Not trample on me. What? I love you dearly, but fuck off. Oh. Go do dog things. Or just lie the fuck down on my couch and stop trampling it. Just don't need so much dog in it. Bit of weight on them. The other problem, sometimes they don't want to undo. You just need them to be just a little bit longer and they're not in the mood. If you can hear snoring, that's Rory. He's not actually asleep. He's just chilling head on my lap, being annoying, because that's what boys do best. And then they move the stick that you're using as your mega ink device, don't they? This is where an element of spot weldy, kind of metal weldy, would have been better than glue, because it would mean that the rose did not have, well, it would be a bit more slippery, so that you could twist the knot to a better length. That's my string. Three and a half, 4. Now there are ways you could do bobbin winding with a thicker piece of thread and attaching it to your pillow, which works really well, by the way. But when you've got a proper bobbin winder, life is good. The only thing you have to be careful of is not knotting the cotton. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Snip. I smell cabbage or lettuce. Why can I smell cabbage or lettuce, dog? Because we don't have any cabbage or lettuce. Why can I smell cabbage or lettuce? Can't decide which it is, but it smells like cabbage or lettuce. Shut up, whiny dog. No! I said no! Be grateful you're sitting where you are. Half. 1. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. We need stick. Missed. Half. 1. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. Missed. Of course you did. Oh God. Excuse me. So I am doing, as Naughty Cat will tell you, I am doing a kind of knot to try and secure them so they don't go anywhere. This is like I now pull on that reasonably hard. It's a knot, but it's not a knot. It's a hitch. But it stops. It's the same kind of knot. Well, it's the full knot that goes around the top, so we do a half hitch around the top of the bobbins. But it stops it waggling when I'm trying to do this, so I can actually do this, which helps. So we discovered on the last one, even a little bit of resistance really helps, except for the fact that that one just popped off the top, which is going to do a lot, I can didn't see this coming. I'm going to spend most of this strip cursing the fact that it's come off the top. So. Oh. Free to do the next lot. Oh, yud. Excuse me. Doing well today, aren't I? Right. Half. 1. And a half. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. Found something that really works on my dry skin. The only problem is I can't place it on the one piece I really wanted. Which is my back. Which is a bit annoying. There we go. Not. Bastard thing. This is where you end up stabbing yourself violently. I've got a better pin than that. Some of the pins are marginally thinner than the other pins, but also some are marginally sharper than other pins. So just because one pin is not working, Fuck this shit. Life's too short. I'm not that poor that I can't afford to chuck away like a metre of thread. Let's try and measure that again. Half, 1, 1.5. More not. This one's all big, so there's a chance. Oh, fuck's sake. Look at the size of this. I mean, comes with trying to work with a dog in your lap. I need a pin. Doesn't help that I can't see very well. That's a really fat pin. That's a really thin pin. You look a bit thinner. I think it is. So, see, that one came undone. Now I've got to start measuring again because look at the end. Half. 1. That's a bit too long. Fuck's sake. Half. 1. 1.5. Caught my finger in it, pulled it back through my fingers. Half. 1. 1.5. 2. Losing fractions. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. Let's try one in this one. Glasses back on. It really doesn't help that there's a duck in them. Even if it's still. I mean, in practice, there doesn't have to be no join between the bobbins, but it looks neater if there isn't. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Snip. Nearly halfway, peeps. Technically that's halfway, but we need the other half of the middle. Half, 1, 3, 3.5, 4. I see you trying to be a knot. Stop trying to be a knot. Half. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Snip. Get stuck on the... It's not stuck on the glue, but it kind of is. How do I explain that? Because the glue, of course, would be grippy. The glue gives it resistance. That's what I mean by get stuck on the glue. So we do one of those there. And we do the other half here, like that. Actually, technically we're doing two of the same. It doesn't really matter, as long as you are roughly where I want you to be. So here, like that. It's not going to be a late one today because I'm going to get up early for work tomorrow. So. I was supposed to have done a training course before I was off work, and I didn't. I was going to do it, but then I went off. So I noticed the other day I've removed it from my list of things to do, which is great. Because to be honest, I probably could have written the course. I'm the kind of person who does the course and then writes a thesis on what's wrong with the course because it's not technically accurate. So, yeah, I do know how to make myself unpopular if I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can be distinctly unpopular. See, if that's 7 and that's 7, am I sure there's 7 there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This should be 8, but it looks more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it is 8. Bugger me. I can count. So, this goes on here like this. And we find out who's popped their clogs, because it was you. Because you're naughty. Go in there like that. So, done half our bobbins now. Time for some slurp, I think. Let's make a start. String. Half. 1. 1 and a half. 2. 2 and a half. 3. 3 and a half. 4. Stick. No! Rory, don't get caught up in it. It's the last thing I bloody need. If you've never heard Fog on the Tyne is All Mine, which got redone by Gaza, God help our very souls. My brain just said, now bear in mind I am not claiming to be good at singing, but dog in the twine is all mine, dog in the twine is all mine. That's where my brain went. Yeah, I know it's not twine, but it's close enough. String, thread, whatever. See, now it's trying to knot up, so we have to halfway do such a pain in the fluff. You really, really are. Aren't you? You're my annoying fluff ball. Right. Half. 1. 1 and a half. 2. 2 and a half. 3. 3 and a half. 4. Missed. Chop. I can sing, but I'm not very good at singing quietly. I used to be able to sing, now not so much, But definitely, because I spent my whole life in the choir and where you had to project your voice, I'm not very good at doing things quietly. I'm also not generally in a good female voice range, which makes life awkward. Because when I could sing, I was soprano, and now I'm not. Now, to be fair, I remember the day my voice broke. Most women do not. Most women, their voice changes slowly over time. Mine did not. Mine broke just like men's do, and did the whole crackle, crackle, fart, fart, cough, 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 cough kind of thing in the middle of a concert that we were doing at school. On stage. More to the point. Now you could argue it was stress, but it never did. It was never the same afterwards. I had dropped a couple of octaves, so it was very difficult to sing the songs that I'd been allocated. Wasn't so bad to do the choir bit because I could hide amongst the choir, but when you're doing not quite solos, but when you're one of a trio and you have individual chunks, such as Mikado, Three Little Girls from School, even though I was the lower part, yeah, and my teacher, one of the teachers decided I had to do Sloop John B because the guitar guys were playing it and they didn't know the words, so they were playing it all wrong. And I happened to know the words, so I was singing along to it during their warm-up. And the teacher went, "That's excellent!" and shoved me out on stage. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Really enjoyed that. Not. It was the last time I sang properly in public, mind, so for that very reason, actually. But yeah, I can't sing quietly. I can only sing loud, which is not a good thing. It's right when you're in the car on your own, because, well, you're in the car on your own. And chances are, as you drive by at 30 odd mile an hour plus, even if you've got all the windows down, people don't get to tell you sound like a dying cat. When you're sitting here and, well, you have a captive audience, yeah, let's not sing too much. But on the subject of singing, I feel we need some music, because we haven't had some music in a while. So let me music, Amazon Music, and let's find some shit that I would sing along to, and hopefully you won't listen to me. I do find it really hard not to sing along sometimes, actually. Let's do the thing. So, some music is ready to go. I need to turn that on, that off. Go and hit go. See, this is too high for me to sing properly. I can, but it really does sound bad. Half. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. Clock strikes. Let's go half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Tenchi! How you doing, my dude? I missed you, Tenchi. You need to take home a kettle, dude. What? I don't need to be mauled by a dog. No. We're doing okay. They are their usual annoying selves. Oh, I'm sorry. Is right next to me and on my lap not close enough, Rory? We've been having fun, or not, as the case may be. So, let me turn music off a sec. Hang on, because having Whitney blast in my ear is not helping. Right. I bought a new carpet cleaner, a slightly more heavy-duty carpet cleaner, to stop my carpets being the colour of Rory when they should be lighter than my brown paper here. And most of it is dirt they track in from the garden. However, not all of it. Some of it is because it's damp. And therefore it attracts the dirt from their paws. And it's a really good carpet cleaner. It truly, really is. But I ordered an accessory thing for it, which is supposed to make it like a third even better than it is. And it arrived. Hurrah! Now I need to point out it wasn't cheap. It's about 750 quid. This accessory was 750 quid. And it arrived, and I got it all out. I plugged it all together because you have to kind of assemble it a little bit. I went to plug it in the unit, and well, it didn't fit. Well, it's not quite true. The water thing fitted, the suction thing fitted, but the bit that provides it the electricity that it needs to be more exciting did not. So, obviously we're all used to kettle plugs, the big kind of 3-pronged kettle plugs that you plug in, you know, your PC or generally an awful lot of kitchen appliances. Hopefully you're all familiar with kettle plugs. We call them kettle plugs because they started on kettles, so bite me. So they're kind of horseshoe shaped ideas. Then there are what I call tape recorder plugs, which are kind of a figure 8 but with flat bits on one side so you don't get them around the wrong way. Sometimes they got flat bits, sometimes they don't. And Magic Carpet Cleaner on the actual cleaner part has got kind of like a tape recorder thing. The one that came with the accessory was more like ones you get in server rooms. So it was a really big circle, like, you know, kind of this size circle, 2 prongs in it. Not like the 2 prongs that we in the UK have as shaver devices. No, no, no. This is more like the server room. It's not 240 volts. It's kind of plug. And I went onto Amazon and went, that doesn't seem to be the right one. And it said, any wines, phone up the manufacturer. So I spent an hour. Yeah, we have, not that I have any to hand, but you have a 2-prong shaving accessory one, which I'm sure you've seen in every bathroom you went in. But it's not the plug for the wall. This is the other end, the appliance end. Come on, Rory, off. Come on, off. So, hang on. I can demonstrate, she says, looking below her. Hang on, let me move this a little bit. Right, so I can see. So down here, somewhere, yeah, hang on. I'm trying to dig out things from under my couch without getting on the floor and grovelling. Hang on. Because my printer has a kettle plug on it. Hang on. So, this is the kettle plug. This goes in the contraption. So that goes in your appliance. She says trying to put it back now. Yeah, we call them kettle plugs. So, it is a computer plug. I did say like you have on your PC. Come on, I know it's here somewhere. Is it the other way up? It's going to be the other way up. It just piss me off, isn't it? Can't fucking see. Because the other problem I have in life is everything I need to do is always in the fucking dark. Right, that's that plug back in, sort of. Right, somewhere down here is also a... You're not removable. Now down here there is, not that I can see it, because of course it's darker than a badger's butthole, because it's under a table. There should be. There's one. Hang on. Don't know if it will stretch that far though. Hang on. No, it doesn't want to stretch. Let's see if I can persuade it to come up a little bit. Right, you're going to have to believe me, but you get more like these, which are, they're often 2-prong, but that's actually a 3-prong one. But you get basically that bit, so you can't see for the fucking words, and I can't move it any further, so you'll just have to try and glare through the words. But there's 2 holes, so you get like that shape. Yep. And those are more like the ones you get with laptop chargers, and that's what used to go in our old tape recorders, right? So I'm not going to go and find you a shaver plug one, because I'm not sure where I've got one. There'll be one up in my bedroom. Yeah. So yeah, because they're quite wide with just two prongs like this that and obviously the plug is the receptacle, but with those the device has the prongs. With the shaving one you have the prongs, right? And so it's male rather than female, so it's just the way it is. But the contraption had what looks a lot like the shaver plug, but bigger, much bigger. So the shaver ones are literally an inch apart. This was more like 1.5 inches, maybe 2. I mean, it's in a box, gone off to be rehabituated wherever it's, you know. But it is just that little bit frustrating, because obviously when you've spent 750 quid, you kind of, and it says part X for model Y, and I definitely have model Y, you don't expect it to come wrong. And the nice lady at the manufacturer went, can you tell me the part number? No, because there's none on the book and there's none on the device. Oh, well, it'll be on the box. Where on the box? Oh, well, there'll be a printed label. Oh, really? So you could have peeled it off. Great. Found it. Oh, yes, that's not for your model. So I had to send it back. I then did the Amazon chat thing, need to send it back. And, you know, got through the chat bot portion and managed to get to speak, allegedly, to a human being. Hang on. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. And spoke to someone and said, look, I need to return it. And they went, yeah, we can do that for you. But that'll be fine. Great. But I need someone to come and pick it up because it's quite big. When I say it's quite big, it's about the size of a refuse bin. Okay? The box. The actual contraption's nothing like that big. But the box it came in is the size of a refuse bin. We're talking like 1 metre high with, you know, kind of 40 to 50 centimetres square. So it's reasonable size, and I didn't want to be trying to cart that around. So I asked if, you know, can we have it picked up? Yeah, they said. The email came, so, you know, anything else for you? No, that's it, thanks. Email comes through, drop-off point. What part of drop-off point is a pickup? Boneless idiot. So, try again. And explain, I'd asked for a pickup because of its size, and the last person seems to have said it to be a drop-off. Oh, yes, I can fix that. Yeah, I've sorted that out for you, madam, blah, 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 blah. Anything else? No. The email comes through, drop-off point. Try again. Third person. Warn you, not in good mood by now. You know, hang on, that's 1.5. Actually, I don't trust that. Hang on. Let me do me counting. Hang on. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. So warning, not in a great mood, because, you know, I don't know how many times I've got to explain I need it picked up, not expect me to drive around half the country trying to find someone who will take it. Because, of course, they booked it, and I did look at where the drop-off points were, thinking, well, maybe if it's, you know, close enough to where I can park for sure, I'll just do it and save myself the grief of trying to get it sorted. Oh, there's a post box. You don't put something 1 metre by 1/2 metre by 1/2 metre into a 1 inch slot, doofus. It's got to be pickup. So he then hung up. The fourth person, basically, yeah, I understand entirely, madam, not a problem. did a drop off. So I ended up managing to actually ring them, and I explained that, you know, 4 people later, apparently pickup is something that they are failing to comprehend. And he kind of laughed a bit, and then went and sorted it out and said, it may say something else, but I've definitely picked up, you know, arranged for a pickup. Worry not. And I said, well, if you have, you've done something none of your other colleagues could manage. So, you know, go you for being competent. And he had. But next morning, dude turns up to pick it up. Scans the barcode on it, because you've got to print one out and, you know, all that shit. Oh, this isn't what we were expecting. Oh, you've got to be fucking shitting me. But it was the right barcode, so they did at least take it. So now it's on its way back. But I do love how when you buy from Amazon, they take the money out of your account immediately, right? Oh, well, not immediately, but the moment they've packed it, they take the money. Or they take the money and then pack it, whichever way you think about it, right? When they pay you back, oh, it might take up to 30 days. Why? If you've got my thing back, why on earth would it take 30 days? It's an electronic transfer, doofus. So I am now hoping to see the money return into my account so I can go and buy the right one. Because why does it look like it's refunded, but it's not adjusted my total? I don't know what it is. That's my bills account, that's why. Dickweed. Where's my... One of the things I do hate about how they do your credit cards over here is, for example, if I cover up the money at the top, right? All they list is like Amazon, X quid, Audible, some money, Twitch. Now occasionally it does actually say something at the bottom. But pretty much when it goes through, it just changes to Amazon. When it's pending, it'll actually tell you what it's for. And I mean, as a result, for example, Apple, Tesco, Apple, eBay. I mean, it doesn't tell you what it is, right? And I'm looking for it now. I don't see it. The problem is they don't... Oh, there it is. They don't do a running total. They just tell you you owe so much. But each time I go to pay something off my card, I pay off all of it. But it never seems to be zero. Which makes no sense whatsoever. So speaking of which, if I go to here, and I go to... I do love the fact that if I click on the view return status, it goes, you've already requested a return on here. Print off, return request approved. Print off the label. I've already printed the label. You've had it back. You'll have had it by now. One, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Half, 1, 1.5, whoops, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. You see, this is what I was hoping would not happen. The bubble came off, so I now need to glue this back on. So I'm going to put that in there for a minute. I've got somewhere I can put that. I'm going to glue this back on. Scrape off the previous glue, because obviously did a pretty piss poor job with this. And then we try and squeeze this tube hard enough to get the glue out. Take glasses off because we need to see 2 inches from our nose while I squeeze the tube. Healthy glue smell. Right. I am not huffing glue before you ask. Just so happens that the glue is because it's 2 inches from my face. Right. Yes, I've got to glue the top back on my bobbin. So you can sit there and wait while you get up. love my bobbins. I really do love the weight of them. The only thing that is slightly annoying is that despite putting a layer of varnish on them, which I meant to put another layer of varnish on them, but we started winding them again and I completely forgot, is that some of the black still rubs off. So some of the thread does tend to go a little bit skank looking. But to be honest, it won't show in the final product, even if it does stain it. So it's not really the end of the world. But it does come off. Not a lot, just a bit. So some of the threads were definitely grey. And best way to show how grey they are is, here is said thing. And it doesn't show up so well on camera because, well, lighting and all that. But here is an identical white coloured thing. And you can see, you can't really see it, but one's definitely greyer than the other. In person, this is nearer Windows grey. But it will go white with washing. So, and even if it doesn't, fuck it. But if you look, if I fold the top bit, this bit's definitely, the top is definitely whiter than nearer the bottom. Again, probably something you can't really see, but actually you can see that that looks a lot lighter than that. It's because it's brighter. But to be honest, whatevs. That's where we're at with it. Whatevs. If it stained it, it stained it. If it hasn't, it hasn't. I'm pretty sure it comes out though. I just am. Which of course is why when you do the one on the big bolster pillow, the Germans use a hooded bobbin to stop you from handling it, because one of the things that I noticed the other day was, hang on, I've got a blister on the inside of my finger. I haven't had one of those for a while. You can't really see it in this light, but this side has a slightly brown hue to it. It's my skin. Even though I do wash my hands, I promise, like a good girl, the skin comes off slightly as you work, and it's only really noticeable on the white stuff, obviously, and because you handle this a lot, it was something that was not something I'd given a lot of thought to until I had leukemia. Now, this is going to sound really, really weird. Do not judge me, judge the hospital I was in. I was supposed to have a private bathroom because I was neutropenic, meaning I have no immunity, and people kept using my bathroom. But my bathroom didn't have a shower or a bath. 1, hang on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, because it didn't have a bath, you could only wash with the flannel. And, well, if you've never had to go camping, you'll know that washing with the flannel is a very poor solution in comparison. And so, as a result, when I finally got to have a bath, the water turned bright red. Because I had low immunity, low clotting, and it had been quite a while, and I'd had a rash and a whole pile of other things, there was blood in my a lot more blood than normal in my skin, and as a result of that, when it came to the bath, well, it all went red because, well, blood had to go somewhere. But the skin came off and hang on. Spambot. Spam. Haven't really got. I can't really get on my keyboard. Hang on. There's times like this I need a moderator, but I don't really need one. Spam. Bot. There you go. Yes, I verify I'm me. Block spam bot. Ban spam bot. Deny spam bot. Right. Anyway, so I've got a knot to undo, as you can't really see it like that, but there you go. There you can see the knot. But yeah, it was horrific. It was really surprising how, even though I managed to get a bath kind of once every week or so, and I do mean week or so. I mean, I wasn't going anywhere or doing anything, so I was hardly getting dirty per se. But you get in the bath and it would be all the dried skin, all the dried blood that was on there, and there was an awful lot of it. It made me realise just how much of it there really can be, even though you're not, going out and doing anything and sweating. And no, this is just from sitting around doing nothing. You can accumulate an awful lot of what looks like dirt but isn't dirt. It's your skin. It really is quite surprising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In case you haven't worked out, there are 8.5 metres in the metre, so I could go half, 1 half, but I've decided to count 1 to 8 because it's a lot easier. Right. But yeah, it wasn't until then that I'd ever really I mean, we all know that we slough skin cells as we go, but because you don't walk around like, snowflake child, it's not, unless you've got dandruff, you don't think of your skin coming off, but it does all the time. But until you spend a lot of time handling white things, it's not really obvious. If you've ever had what some people called hand chum on your mouse, you might have given it a bit of thought, because all the skin cells on your mouse build up, and that's pretty gross. Occasionally you might get it on keys on your keyboard. But it is kind of weird that you need something that you're handling a lot for it to be obvious. But the short answer is obviously we do leave skin cells everywhere we go. But white things definitely make it more obvious than most other things. So. But yeah, I was looking at this, and again, as I say, it's not hugely obvious, but for example, I can see here, again, because it's so bright, you don't get to see it. Let me go do this, hang on. Might show up if I let's make this a bit smaller, because you don't need to be full screen when you're not full screen. So I need which one? Where is it? Exposure, that's the one. If I bring it down a little bit, you might be able to see, because it's not quite so bright. But the problem is being white, of course, it gets the glare almost irrelevant. Yeah, you can sort of see that it's slightly darker here, but not a lot. But it is kind of weird how it works. But yeah, it is much more prominent on white things than it is not white things, clearly. Right. So we want to capture you in a way that we can stick on here like that and put in a hole. And then we do this. You come out this side and go in here. And now you come and do this. So yes, it's not something you give a lot of thought to until you have to, really. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But yeah, the Germans have to stop you handling it to stop the brown effect, but obviously I also get the bobbin effect because the bobbin also stains the thread, so yeah. But it probably doesn't help that I have dogs. So some oil from their coat will get on my hands when I hug the dog. And then I touch my bobbins. So between the three of us, you know, the bobbins, me and the dogs, staining it all manner of colours, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the same with touching hair and, you know, all of those things. You can pick up oils from that and transfer it. So the hooded bobbins are really quite good for that, but they're really cumbersome, so would be really annoying for this. But when you've only got a few, then they're really good. Stop winding up that way. You might not have seen my hooded bobbins, tench, because you've been a ways. Hang on, let me poke this on a pin and I'll go and get you one. Hang on. So, this is a hooded bobbin. The bobbins look like this. So you put the thread on this long neck in the middle, so you can get quite a lot on them, which is quite nice. And I put some thread on this one to prove a point. What you then have is, once the bobbin's all happily sorted, it has a hat. So it covers up, so no amount of handling of the bobbins, because when they're on bolster cushions you tend to handle them like this, so you they are now there are some on, I found some on Etsy for sale, and God help me, I want them with all my soul, but holy shit. Let me show you what I mean, because those are really quite brilliant, but they're, I mean, if you look how bulky they are in comparison to those though, if I had 84 of these floating around it'd be a pain in the butt. But let me show you my Etsy thing that I have been humming and hawing about, and you'll soon see why I am less pleased, shall we call it. Hang on. So, where are they? And then there were these. Now, these are covered bobbins. Now, these work in a very similar way to the hooded bobbins, only even better. Now, before you get excited, that's £8.42 per single bobbin. Right, so if you need 84 of them, which I would, you know, for this, for example, 84, it gets really expensive. Now, admittedly, they've only got 8, right? Oh, they've got 9 now, woo, right? But if I put 8, for example, in my basket, they come up to about £54. Let's say 55 for rolling up. That's great. They then want £56 to deliver them for 8 bobbins. 8 singular bobbins. Now, however, these do work much like the German ones, except they work more like a lip seal, in that you wind the thread on it and then you twist them one way to get more thread, and you can twist them the other to take thread back. Quite logical if you think about it. But you never have to touch the inside once it's set up. Now, I really like the idea. I really, really do. I think it's a clever idea. But I'm not paying more for delivery than I am to pay for it. Let me make sure I'm not doxing myself so I don't hand out my... where's the cheapest one? There you go. 8 of those. Add to basket. View basket. let's save layer. So, for example, if I want to pay £56 and 8p for 8 bobbins, I pay £52.21 in delivery and 21 quid in tax for a grand total of £130 for 8 singular bobbins. I really want them. That's a lot. I can't believe it costs 52 fucking pounds to ship, you know, a handful of bobbins that are going to be small, that are actually smaller than those hooded bobbins. It's not going to cost what they come in, first class. I mean, their own chartered jet. I mean, Christ alive. But I would really love some. Really, really would. Bear in mind, that's the cheaper ones. The other ones are £9.21 each. So if I go back, for example, if you look, the light one, they're £9.21. So they're light on top and on the bottom, and that's a hideously awful photo. In fact, they're all hideously awful photos. But the cheapest ones, which is the only difference really, is the colour and the wood. I mean, I would have some. I really, really would. I'd certainly buy 8. I mean, even if, let's say they cost 56 quid. Yeah, that's a lot. But for working on a bolster cushion, doing a take place kind of thing, bear in mind the patterns I bought recently, they'd be ideal. They really, really would. But I'm not prepared to pay 130 quid for 8 bobbins. There is a thing on YouTube showing how they work. Doubt I can find it, of course. Don't suppose. I was typing, you fucking thing. I hate how this happens so often now. You go into something and you highlight it, you type, and it doesn't. I did find it. I ended up watching, and there was this thing on so and so's new invention. Might mention the dude here. Hang on. Jean Rue. That's possibly something to add to it. Jean Rue. Hooded lace bobbin. There was a YouTube video on it. problem, like everything, is you search for something and it comes back with other shit, you know? But I did see somewhere on here, and there were 2 videos. There was kind of 2 parts to it. But they were a while ago. It's like how to wind it, kind of thing. Jinru bobbin. And of course, none of these have the word Jinru in them. Because that's all sewing machines. Let's put her name in quotes. That doesn't look very advisable. Thing is, I'd probably recognise the video if I could find it. Well, I need to report this. The worst thing is this is the problem I have all the time. I know it was a YouTube video. I know I've seen it, but there's no point looking through my YouTube history because I watch lots of videos. So I'd have to go back like 6 months. But it was on here. And of course, like everything, finding it will... See, just because it's got the word lace in it does not make it about bobbins, you know? I remember they weren't very long videos, and there was 2 parts, and they were like by different people, but it was about the same bobbin. Because one basically showed it once it was wound, and another one showed what it was like on the inside. As I said, they were fairly short videos, but I don't think they were short videos as in shorts kind of videos. They just weren't particularly long videos, more accurately, if you know what I mean. I could have sworn one of them was the Lace Museum. Who are the people who are actually selling them. So it would make a lot of sense, if you know what I mean. This is why I really hate the internet. Is you know you've seen it. You know who makes it. You know who's selling it. And you're pretty sure you know who did the video. But it's not agreeing with you. and it's showing you half the videos you've already dismissed going it wasn't there. It's not how you spell hooded, dumbass. Well, it's not the only one I've watched with three bobbins in it. And you tench. Pretty sure it's these guys. But they've only got 4 videos. So it's not them. So I've got such yawns. So frustrating when you know it's on YouTube. I am absolutely 100% confident it was here on YouTube. Can we find it? Can we, heck? Oh, yawn. And because I'm getting frustrated and I'm tired, you know, patience is small. It's not even bringing the picture up. I want picture like these. I want picture like these, but I want to search for something like one of these. They're not wood instrument mouthpieces. Don't be such I mean, they do look pretty similar, I grant you, but they're not. do with it. It's not true. But in short, they work a lot like the hooded ones. Oh, for fuck's sake. They work a lot like the hooded ones, but you twist them and it lets out the thread or pulls in the thread that's underneath. And if you think about it, but they fit snugly, but they're totally capped. Instead of having a slide-on hood that you just kind of rattles around and sits there by gravity, these actually like a lip seal onto the top and grip a bit, which are really, really cool. And I would really, really love some, but at £130 for 80, I can't really justify it. I really, really can't, even though I want to try them. And I also would like to stop yawning. Doesn't help that I've got snoring dogs. Speaking of which, still, I was not going to hurt you. You're just surprised. Sit still, Amy. Just sit still. You are not hurt in any shape or form. There. All in your head, young lady. All in your head. Wasn't it? Yes, all I've done is trim one of your extra long nails. Let me look at this lot. There, you see you've got some on this paw. Give me this paw. While I've got the trimmers and a dog, let me do this paw too. Come here. No, sit still. Because you've got some really long nails, young lady, that you then dig into me. So I have every right to want to trim them. Young lady. Because you, don't you, just as much as your brother, you trample me. And there is nothing wrong with you. There is no blood. I did not get you. Did I? No, I did not get you. I did not. Not at all. No. There is no pain on the doggy. No. Quick look at these ones. That's all. That foot's alright. Let me look at the one other foot. You've got 4, remember? Yeah, that one could probably do with a trim. No. Stay still. Fine, sod off. Always the way. Animals. Right. Oh dear. Oh, and now of course your brother's going to be even more scared of it, even though you're just being a big whiny worse bag. Yes, you are. Being a big whiny worse bag. Because there's nothing actually wrong with you. Is there? No. Come here. Come here. Big whiny wuss bag. I did not take you off at the toe like you were making out. Yes. Barely trimmed your nail, for Christ's sake. Right, let's do this one more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I've already got a pair, haven't I? Oh, well, free your dog on the couch now, because they buggered off. Now, both my two are terrible about having their claws done. But he is definitely the worst of the pair. She made all the noise, but still let me do it. He won't let me get anywhere near it. She's gone out for a pee now. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's all right, Rory. I was not chopping her off at the elbow, despite her protestations. No, I wasn't. You've got the longest nails of both of them. There's no blood. She's fine. Aren't you? You're not even limping. You see, it's all... There's nothing wrong with you at all. No. There was nothing wrong. There was no loss of limb, no nothing. I don't know if you've seen, but there's currently a thing going round about some Twitch guy who his dog yelps on stream, and it's not really clear from the stream what happened, but people are alleging that he used a shock collar. Now, you don't see a blatant shock collar in the picture. I'm not saying there isn't one. I'm just saying that you don't see a blatant one around the dog. He said that it was not a shock collar. Of course he would, whether there was or there wasn't. But people are all kind of like, oh my God, he should be, banned from Twitch and, for using a shock collar. I don't, if he was using a shock collar, certainly for what occurred. Absolutely, because the dog just seemed to be getting on its dog bed and it kind of yelped. Dropped a pin. There it is. So, you wouldn't use a shock collar for that at all, even if you were into one. I'm not particularly into them, but I also would argue that I have seen dogs where it would make sense. So, for example, if you've got dogs who can basically be a danger to themselves, I'm not saying I applaud the use of a shock collar, but I can understand the want to use one, because, if you've got a dog like we had Maddie, she wouldn't listen, and she could be in danger, and she wouldn't listen. So in a sense like that, you can argue that there is a case for early training with a very low setting, having a shock collar on them, so that they learn, ignoring is not an option. Because everyone goes, oh, you just need to train your dog. Well, the problem is, especially when they're puppies, is that you can train them all you like. They're puppies. They're easily distracted. And sometimes you need a distraction from the distraction. So you can end up with a situation where the dog is in danger and, it's run off, escaped your collar, whatever. And now your dog is in danger. If it's ignoring you, having long arm, for example, we found that the beep on the shock collar, because we had one for Maddie, because they were legal back then. But all we really needed was the beep on the shock collar, because the one that I bought had a beep, and you could press the beeper on it, and because the beep came from under her neck, she may be off and not be able to see us. you'd call her, she'd ignore you. You press the beep, and even if you could see her, you'd see her stop and kind of go, how the hell did that happen? You could see that it would interrupt her train of thought. You'd call her again, and then she'd come, because she was now distracted from the distraction, and that was all you needed, was some method of poke. Oi. Oh, what? And then she'd come, because she was reasonably well trained. So we never really needed the shock collar on her. But we had one in case we did. And there was one time we ended up using it. Well, I think we used it twice. One time she was herring off after sheep, and she could be shot for that. And another time she'd run off, and she was kind of pestering someone who was scared of dogs, wouldn't come back, but also wouldn't let us get near her. So one zap, quit it, and she would. And it was, I mean, we'd zapped ourselves, by the way. We're not stupid. We had zapped ourselves to find out what it felt like. So we knew exactly how it felt. And it was on a really low setting. Again, it was more of a oi. And she didn't even, most of the time she did squeak once with it, but part of that was because she was so busy into what she was doing, she'd kind of shut. A bit like when you've really got your head in something and someone puts your hand on their shoulder. You go, ah! Because of the surprise. Not because it hurt, because of the shock. And it was the, oh my God. It was the dog equivalent of, oh my God. Because it really was on next to nothing. But it was one of those moments that, yeah. But I would never use it the way the instructional video that came with it. The instructional video said, put it on your dog and work up till they strongly react to the pressing of the button. Because they had a lot of settings that, from not a lot to quite a lot. And it was not, till you get a minor reaction. No, it was till you get a strong reaction. And then basically it showed a video of teaching a dog to sit that couldn't sit already. So they said sit, when it didn't, zap. Sit, didn't, zap. Sit, didn't, zap. They weren't showing it what sit meant. They just kind of slapped it in the face every time that it didn't do what they meant. And if I said to you, hug my Humpty Muff, well, you didn't do what I want. Whack! It's not a way to teach dogs, so we were never going to do that. It purely was for emergencies. And as a result, we only ever used it twice. She wore it a bunch of times without us touching it in any shape or form. But she kind of then assumed it was on her, even when it wasn't. So acted like we had the full extent of the law kind of on our side and could poke from a distance. And so then behaved herself. And then, of course, by the time, within a month or so of not wearing it, but thinking she was wearing it and forgetting that she wasn't, she'd learned what was the right behaviour because she already knew what to do, because she knew the collar would have got her if she didn't, i.e. we would have beeped it, we would have, we would potentially, at worst case, the long arm of the law would reach out and poke her. And so, yeah, she didn't need one. So I think we used it twice. Still got it somewhere in a cupboard, I think. I might have chucked it by now. But, yeah, she kind of needed one because she was terrible. And to be honest, Amy is the kind of dog who would need one. If she didn't have Rory. If she didn't have Rory, she would be very easily distracted, crackhead dog. And, it's not that she doesn't know to come. Of course she does. She's probably the best one around the house. Out, not so much, because, well, squirrel, sniff, thing. Rory's the better one out the house. Yes, you are, because you're more placid and you don't care. Yes. But if we didn't have Rory, she would be the kind of dog that would benefit from something like that aid her training to start with. Because, yes, you can carry around, 50 metres of rope, but you can't really haul it in that quickly. So if they are in trouble, you can haul it in as quick as you like, but it still takes a fair bit of time. Whereas a virtual doesn't, But yeah, I'm not a strong advocate for collars, but this guy's dog kind of seems to trip up the dog bed. It's more like it gets a static shock off the dog bed, but there's uproar because he may have zapped his dog, and I do feel for him, and the dog, because if the dog did get zapped for it, there was no call. The dog literally was getting onto its dog bed. I mean, it was being perfectly well behaved. So if it got zapped for that, then that is indeed very cruel and uncaring. But at the same time, if it didn't get zapped, I feel sorry for him because, well, how do you prove it? I mean, you heard Amy squeak, but I can tell you, I was trying to use a pair of chippers. By the way, these are much better for dogs than dog chippers because they're sharp and they actually cut. Most dog nail trimmers just crush. But she squeaked before I'd even put them on her foot. But you didn't get to see that. All you know is she squeaked. How can I prove it? I can't. Other than I could show you all of her feet and she's fine. Got to get close enough for that, but that'll be a laugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we've done 2 more sticks worth. Done 2 more sticks worth, Rory. So we'll finish the sticks likely tomorrow. Yes. But I do need to go to bed. It's nearly up. Well, it's 10:15, so nearly 10:20. I do need to kind of go because I've got work in the morning, and I'm so looking forward to getting up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I hope to see you all again soon. But yeah, I don't know. Tomorrow we should, as I say, I think tomorrow we will complete the bobbin loading because, well, 2.5 hours. We did get a bit sidetracked in the middle, admittedly, but let's move that. But yeah, I've got to do work tomorrow, kids. Yes, that's depressing, isn't it? Anyway, as I say, I shall be back tomorrow, about 2 o'clock. So, hang on. 16 hours time? No, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, 16 hours. About 16 hours or so. We should be back, hopefully, to finish winding the bobbins. And, well, we are on our way, but obviously it takes a while. You can't really see, and we're always in the way. Hang on, let me move back a bit so I can slide this back a bit, because it's just the easier way of doing it. So we've done. It's all right. Well, you could get off. That'd be helpful. The box moved and touched his butt and made him jump. But as you can see, we've started the top left-hand corner now, and we've done, well, a third of those bobbins. So. But we've now done 4 lots of bobbins out of 6, so we've done 2/3 of the bobbin. So we are closely towards the end, aren't we? But we should be back tomorrow. Hopefully we will finish tomorrow. And, well, then we can just get on to the fun bit of making lace. Yes. Anyway, I shall speak to you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.